Welcome to this explainer. You know, building lasting wealth often feels, well, completely out of reach for most of us, like it's some exclusive club. But as we explore the top 10 rules of investing, there's one foundational rule that absolutely stands out above the rest. It's a strategy ordinary people use quietly, every single day, to build massive net worths from scratch.
So, let me ask you something. Is becoming a millionaire just luck? When you see someone who has achieved serious financial freedom, what's the very first thought that pops into your head? That they just got lucky, right? Well, let's challenge that assumption right out of the gate. Building wealth is a process. It is definitely not a lottery ticket.
Okay, let's dive into this. We need to strike right through the biggest myths out there surrounding wealth. We're talking about the ideas that you need to win the lottery, inherit some massive fortune, or grind away 80 hours a week for a crazy six-figure salary. The data tells us a completely different story. Millions of entirely ordinary people have achieved incredible wealth simply by following a few highly effective investing rules. You really don't need a trust fund, and you definitely don't need to win the Powerball. Moving into Section 1, the millionaire myth, working hard versus making money work. Look, the sad reality for most people is that they'll spend their entire lives working incredibly hard for their money. They trade their precious time for a paycheck year in and year out, but they never actually learn how to make that money turn around and work for them. Picture this. Imagine planting a single tiny tree today. At first, you look at it and it's practically nothing. It seems completely insignificant. You water it and, well, nothing seems to happen. But years later, it grows stronger, taller, and suddenly it's producing hundreds of fruits. Investing works exactly the same way. The earlier you plant that seed, the vastly greater your future rewards are going to be. You see, you aren't just saving cash, you are literally planting a financial orchard. That brings us to Section 2, your money as employees, changing your paradigm. To truly build wealth, we have to entirely shift our mindset. We have to stop viewing money purely as something to earn and then immediately spend, and start looking at it as an asset that we own and uniquely deploy. Let this quote sink in for a second. Think of money as a small employee. If you invest your money wisely, each dollar starts working for you, earning more dollars over time. This is absolutely crucial. If you spend every dollar you earn on things that don't generate value, you are essentially firing your employees the absolute second you hire them. But if you invest, you're sending those little employees out into the world to recruit even more employees for you. That right there is the true secret behind financial freedom. Which leads us directly to Rule 1, start now. Every single one of the greatest investors in history shares one simple unifying trait, the decision to just begin. The absolute greatest enemy to building wealth isn't a stock market crash, not at all. It's delay. We all know the familiar excuses. Maybe we've even used them ourselves. I'll wait until I earn more, or I'll wait until I feel a bit more confident about my finances, or my personal favorite, I'll wait until the market looks perfectly safe. Here is the hard truth, folks. The perfect time to invest never actually arrives. There's always going to be a reason to hold off. But waiting is the single biggest financial mistake you can possibly make. So why exactly is waiting so disastrous? Well, two words. Compound interest. This is the ultimate, undeniable secret to wealth. It's when your money earns returns, and then, get this, those returns start earning returns of their own. Over time, this doesn't just create a straight line of growth. It creates exponential, explosive growth. But here's the catch. Compound interest demands one ingredient above all else to work its magic: time. Let's look at a real-world example in Emma versus James, the ultimate showdown. This is a concrete case study that proves why the amount of time you spend in the market is mathematically far superior to trying to time the market perfectly. First up, let's look at Emma. She decides to start her financial journey at the super young age of 22. She doesn't wait until she has everything all figured out. She just goes for it. And she starts by investing a surprisingly small amount, just $200 every single month. It's consistent, sure, but it's certainly not a massive fortune that's going to break the bank. Now, while Emma starts at 22, investing $200 a month, we have James. James waits until he feels ready at age 35. To make up for all that lost time, he invests twice as much as Emma every single month. And this brilliantly illustrates the power of starting early. Even though James throws double the amount of money into his investments later on, Emma often ends up significantly wealthier. Why? Her money just had more time to compound. Her little money employees literally had over a decade head start. And that brings us to this golden rule of investing. Time matters more than timing. Look, I know it can be incredibly anxiety-inducing when the stock market rises and falls. It feels chaotic, I get it. But history shows us a very clear pattern. Patient investors who stay invested for decades are almost always the ones rewarded. Instead of trying to guess when the market is perfectly at its bottom, just give your investments the time they desperately need to weather the storms and grow. All right, let's pivot here to your action step. Turning theory into practice. Because let's be real, just understanding these concepts doesn't make you wealthy. Actually, acting on them does.
The steps you need to take are incredibly simple. Step 1, open an investment account this week, not next month, this week. Step 2, start investing a small amount consistently. Just begin with whatever you have today, just like Emma's $200. A small investment can literally become life-changing if you just give it the runway it needs. It is time to start planting your orchard.
But please be deeply aware of the ultimate mistake, waiting for the perfect moment instead of taking action. I really want to give you a stern warning here. Every single year you delay is a year of lost, explosive, exponential growth that you mathematically can never get back. Your future self is practically begging your present self to act right now. So I'll leave you with this. Will you plant your seed today, or will you keep waiting around for a perfect time that never actually arrives? While there are absolutely other rules to wealth in the top 10, honestly, none of them matter if you don't master rule number 1. Think about that seed, take action, and get ready to transform your financial future.